Hi guys, I wanted to introduce you to a method that I have been following for a few years now that has really helped me with weight maintenance and in times weight loss. I follow the principle of the 80-20 rule. So what this is that 80% of the time I will follow a good health diet, where I eat a lot of my own home cooked meals and I practice absolute good health techniques and practices. 20% of the time is done doing the total opposite, where I'll eat bad food, I'll eat processed food, I'll relax a little, and I'll just not beat myself up about it. So the 80-20 rule is applied to the way I eat, the way I exercise, and just generally, I could pretty much apply it to any part of my life. So when it comes to food, probably the most important principle is that 80% of the time I am cooking my own food. I am cooking and eating food that I have prepared myself or by a family member, and I'm eating it. So it's not coming out of packaging. I'm not buying it from a store and heating it up. I'm not sitting at a restaurant. So 80% of the time I am making my own food. And that goes as far as saying I even make my own bread. I'll make my own pizza from scratch. So I'm not saying that you need to go as far as doing that, but it's the concept of 80% of the time I know what ingredients I'm eating. I know the origin of those ingredients. I know how much sugar I'm eating. I'm 100% aware of what's going in my body. The other 20% of the time, I am going to restaurants, or I'm happy to eat a meal where you quickly heating it up in the microwave, or I'm snacking on crisps, or I'm opening up a packet of something and eating out of it, something quick and easy. But that's only 20% of the time. You're probably wondering, well, why not 100% of the time? Why not just be healthy all the time? And I'll tell you why. It's actually really important. If you don't let yourself be bad and have these naughty items, if you deny yourself that pleasure, you're now putting those items on a huge pedestal and giving them so much power. So I'll use Ben and Jerry's, for example. Ben and Jerry's will fall into the 20% of the time. If I deny myself the occasional Ben and Jerry's ice cream, I won't stop thinking about it. It'll be at the back of your mind. It will eat at you until eventually you go and have it, or you don't, and it just eats you up inside. So you need to be able to relax and give into things like that, give into cravings every now and again. And just in the back of your mind, you're keeping in mind that it's not a new habit you're forming. You're not going to suddenly be eating that ice cream every day. It's a 20% of the time. So how 80-20 actually looks like is in a week, 20% of the time is 1.5 days. Or in a month, it's about a week in a month, or 6 days in a month. In a year, it's about 2.5 months of the year. So it's really not a huge amount of time, but it's enough time to let you just experience eating something that you think is bad, getting it out of the way so that you're eager and happy to eat healthy the rest of the time. And I also try and never go above 20% for the unhealthy side, because then you're now just starting to have a bad habit. You're forming a bad habit of eating that, every second day. So you just want to have a taste of it, but not enough that you get stuck into having it all the time. And sometimes you can also swap something that is bad for you and put it in the good for you group. So this would be chocolates. If you're someone that loves chocolates, but you're eating things like Kit Kats and slabs of normal Cadbury's chocolate or something, if you switch it out for a chocolate that is 70% or higher cocoa, so it's dark chocolate, that now falls in the good category in the 80% of the time. And even when I'm eating from that Lindt slab, again, I've applied the 80-20 rule even to that one slab of chocolate. I won't sit down and eat an entire Lindt 100-gram slab of chocolate. I will eat 2 blocks, 20% of that slab, and I'm satisfied. So you can really apply the 80-20 rule in so many different ways. I do it with exercise. I don't exercise absolutely every day. I give myself a 1.5 day break every now and again in a week. Because what that does is you feel so much more restored, and you actually look forward to getting back on the bandwagon and exercising again. So obviously there's a lot of techniques for weight loss, portion control, getting on top of your emotions for your cravings and everything. There's a lot of different things, but the 80-20 rule is a great starting place. Just try as much as you can to prepare your own meals. If you can see the ingredients going in, you can make better decisions. You can cook with things like olive oil instead of vegetable oil. You can use proper butter instead of margarine. When you are buying food at takeaway places or restaurants or cafeterias, you don't know what the base ingredients are. And more than likely, they're going to cheapen out to cover costs. So they're going to use not such great ingredients. They're going to use margarine. They're going to use cheap oil. So 80% of the time, if you have control over what you eat, you will feel better, your body will be better, and you will just generally be healthier. So there was a very short time when I didn't apply the 80-20 rule, and that was when my husband and I went traveling for a year around Asia. And I found it really difficult. So you're in a new country every second week, and you want to try all the new foods. You want to go out to all the restaurants. It's not always that easy to prepare and make your own food. And I could definitely see the downfall of that. So for digital nomads or people that are permanently traveling, I did finally find the balance. I would go to fresh food markets in whatever area we're in, book a food tour, learn about the different types of ingredients they use, stay in Airbnbs where I had access to an oven and stove, and I'd prepare 80% of my meals. What they would look like is I would prepare breakfast and maybe lunch, and then we'd eat out at dinner. So you can still apply it even when you go away. And especially if you're traveling for a long period of time, you will start to notice your health slipping, because also the amount of sugar in food that is prepared for the masses, in restaurants and that kind of thing, you can't escape that. So where you can, even while you're traveling, try and apply the 80-20 rule, and your body will be grateful. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you.